Correct, as it is going to be Arena Game 3 in Round 5 for the Empire Collective Cup between Juan and TheViper. It looks like we're going to see some Turks versus Aztecs, so I'm already excited to see how this game turns out.
Yeah, should be a nice one, and of course Viper here choosing the Turks, which is arguably the much stronger civilization in this matchup. I think we've seen a whole bunch of Turks versus Aztecs so far this tournament, and I think the Turks have a 100% win rate right now. So even though Juan here, down to the south of the map in the purple, is playing as the Aztecs, this is his home map, and I kind of get the feeling like he was really hoping Viper would not be picking the Turks this time around.
Yeah, I think that certainly caught him off guard, and part of the reason why it did is that the Empire Collective Cup is played on the Hidden Civilization setting, so neither player knows each other's civ pick until the game begins, so I'm looking forward to seeing how Juan responds to this, as traditionally, like you mentioned, this is not something that the Aztecs like dealing with. Could you tell us a little bit more about why this matchup is historically unfavored for the Aztecs?
Okay, well, basically, the Turks are incredibly strong with a particular strategy, and it's not the fast Imperial, it's the fast castle followed by a castle drop and Janissaries. The Janissaries are insane, and the reason they are so good is because not only do they have like incredibly high attack, but they counter the Aztecs pretty well. The Aztecs, their general kind of meta game is to go and take the relics. They want to grab the relics, take that relic advantage. They want Castle Age map control. And against the Turks, they don't really get that. The Janissaries are so good. They will kill mangonels so very fast. They will kill monks incredibly quickly. And they will also kill eagle warriors pretty quickly as well. So it's tough for the Aztecs. And I think they can beat the Turks. I just think they have to go away from what they are used to and get out of the metagame a little bit.
Yeah, perhaps the best response would be something like Crossman against the Janissaries, but we'll have to see what Juan's game plan is, as he's going to be using a scout here, luring in those deer to try and give him an early game eco boost, and considering that it's a map like Arena, both players here will be thinking about, Castle Age aggression rather than something in the Feudal or Dark Age usually, so we can expect both players going for a fast castle, getting a huge economy, and then the action will pick up in the Castle Age.
Yes, definitely. Big thank you as well to Nuclei, who donated $15. He said, "Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for all your hard work." Much appreciated. Sorry I missed that earlier on. I think it was like nearly an hour ago when he sent that. I just didn't see it. So my apologies. If you're still out there, Nuclei, we appreciate that very much. But yes.
We certainly do.
Obviously, there will be a build-up now through the Feudal Age, and as with any water map, it's all about efficiency, it's all about the effectiveness of your Dark Age, and making sure you take those deer, taking the time here, as you can see Viper on the left side, pushing, or attempting to push them in through his broken wall piece, and same for Juan as well, breaking his wall, luring in those deer, just because you need every scrap of food you can get to be as effective as possible.
Oh, absolutely. And when it comes to a castle drop, there are a lot of interesting things to note. A huge chunk of what can make a castle drop so very strong is if your opponent's map has a lot of their gold and stone mines, a lot of important resources towards the front side of their walls, because that's where you'll be building the castle, and that castle can zone them off those resources. Thankfully, though, for Juan, he does indeed have, several gold mines actually in his base in a somewhat defensible location. He's got 2 at the far back. His main gold, is far back enough, so it's really his main. He has 2 stone mines that are heavily threatened by a castle drop, so if the Viper puts it there, then Juan doesn't get either of those stones, and maybe even not that relic either. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the Viper drops that castle if he goes for that strategy.
Yeah, if he does do that strategy, I think it's pretty likely that he will. I kind of get the feeling he might even put it just defensively. It's very risky doing a castle drop against the Aztecs, I think, because if the Aztecs have a faster castle time, which they probably will, and if they are able to get a monk out fast enough, then they're going to be able to stop the castle drop because they can just convert the villagers building it. So I think Viper's more likely to put it in a kind of defensive position, probably on the front of his base to cover the stone and gold. Now I feel like the Aztecs, they always play so rigidly when they play Arena. They tend to always go for, this fast castle into monks, into, barracks, making eagles and monasteries to make monks. But when we saw Viper play this not that long ago, as the Aztecs, Viper did a castle drop as well, and it's something you don't see the Aztecs typically do, but something I think will actually work in this game. Imagine now if Juan was to drop a castle in his base to cover his stone and his gold, he could basically stop the Viper from pushing in with his Janissaries, because they'd be no good in that situation. He could stop a Mangonel pushing in and cleaning everything out, because a castle would stop that. And although it's unlikely for the Aztecs to do it, I feel like it could legitimately work out, and something worth considering, but I just don't think we'll see that because the metagame for the Aztecs is so strong.
Yeah, I think that both players do have a reasonable amount of options, and a castle is so very hard to take down in the Castle Age without, like, mass battering rams, and that can be very harsh on the Turks' already a little bit shaky economy. Getting to the Imperial Age and making trebs is one of the best ways to deal with a defensive castle, so that could stop the Viper in his tracks. And one thing that will probably make Juan go for that standard early game monastery play, or at least encourage it, is that he has 3 relics so very close to his base. He has 2 inside of his walls and 1 just a little bit outside, so Juan might be able to build up a strong early game relic lead. And well, the Viper looks like he's setting himself up for a fast Castle Age as well, but Juan, being the Aztecs, is going to click up sooner, not only with fewer villagers, but also taking advantage of his stronger economy.
Yeah, like you say, Juan does have better relic placement. I mean, 2 of those relics are inside of his walls, but the problem comes for the Aztecs when the Janissaries could just bust your wall down so quickly. All it takes is 1 P-Tard, a few Janissaries, and you're gone. I think Juan here, hoping to do a faster castle time and try and take the relics, take map control much faster than the Viper can. And in this situation, Juan can do that. He's clicked up to the feudal age with 24 villagers, whereas Viper's clicked up on 27. And the reason for that is because, well, firstly, the Viper needs to go up to feudal on more because he needs the stone for the castle. And if he goes up with too little, he's not going to have the resources he needs. Juan, of course, can go up a little bit with less villagers because the Aztecs' economy is so very good. Their